In a quiet town surrounded by small hills and narrow streets, there lived a mother named Elena and her son Lucas. Their house was old and simple, with wooden windows and a small garden in front. Elena often said the house was not rich in money, but it was rich in love. Every morning, she woke up before sunrise to prepare breakfast and make sure her son started the day with a smile. Elena had raised Lucas alone since he was 5 years old. His father had left the family to work in another country and never returned. Life became difficult, but Elena never allowed sadness to control her heart. She believed that a mother's love must be stronger than fear, stronger than pain, and stronger than every problem life brings. Lucas was a quiet child. He did not talk much, but he observed everything. He noticed how his mother worked long hours sewing clothes for neighbors. He noticed how she skipped meals so he could eat better. Elena never complained. When Lucas asked why she was tired, she smiled and said, "A mother's strength comes from love." At school, Lucas struggled at first. He was shy and afraid of speaking in front of others. Some children laughed at him, and some teachers misunderstood him. When Lucas came home with tears in his eyes, Elena sat beside him and listened. She did not interrupt. She did not judge. She placed her hand on his shoulder and said softly, "You are not weak. You are learning." As years passed, Lucas grew older, and new challenges appeared. Teen years were not easy. Lucas became frustrated with life. He felt angry, confused, and lost. Sometimes he spoke harshly to his mother. Sometimes he ignored her advice. Each sharp word hurt Elena deeply, but she never answered with anger. A mother's heart feels pain, yet it chooses patience. One night, Lucas shouted, "You don't understand me," and left the house. Elena sat alone in silence. Her heart felt heavy, but she whispered a quiet prayer for her son's safety. She did not chase him. She trusted that love would guide him back. Lucas spent hours walking under the streetlights, thinking about his life. He remembered his mother's tired hands, her gentle voice, and her quiet sacrifices. Slowly, guilt filled his heart. He realized that no one in the world cared for him the way his mother did. When Lucas returned home late that night, Elena was still awake. She did not ask questions. She simply opened her arms. That silent hug spoke louder than any words. In that moment, Lucas felt something change inside him. He felt safe again. From that day, Lucas tried harder. He focused on his studies and learned to control his emotions. Elena supported him quietly, always believing in him even when he doubted himself. Her love was like a light that never turned off, even in the darkest moments. As Lucas prepared for his final school exams, stress filled his mind. He feared failure. Elena noticed his anxiety and reminded him gently, "Your value is not decided by results. It is decided by your heart." The night before the exam, Elena stayed awake, praying silently while Lucas slept. She knew she could not take the exam for him, but she could give him courage through her love. Lucas passed his exams and later moved to the city for university. Life there was fast and overwhelming. He felt lonely among strangers and tall buildings. Some nights, he wanted to quit and return home. Whenever he called his mother, Elena listened carefully and reminded him that growth is often uncomfortable. University life brought success, but also pressure. Lucas worked part-time and studied late into the night. His health suffered. Elena sensed something was wrong. A mother's heart feels distance even without words. During one holiday visit, Elena noticed Lucas had lost weight and looked exhausted. She prepared his favorite meals and encouraged him to rest. Lucas finally opened his heart and shared his fears. Elena held his face gently and said, "You are not alone. You never were." Years later, Lucas became a successful professional. He earned respect, money, and recognition. Yet, he never forgot the woman who stood behind him silently. He visited Elena often, calling her every day. He understood that his strength was built on her sacrifices. As Elena grew older, her steps became slower, and her hands trembled slightly. Lucas noticed these changes and felt a deep sadness. One evening, they sat together watching the sunset. Elena smiled and said, "My greatest achievement was not my work. It was raising you." Tears filled Lucas's eyes. For the first time, he fully understood the power of a mother's love. It does not demand rewards. It does not ask for praise. It simply gives, endlessly. When Elena passed away peacefully years later, Lucas felt a pain he had never known. But along with the pain came strength. Her love lived inside him. In every kind decision, every patient moment, every act of compassion, her heart continued to beat through his actions. Lucas often tells others, "Everything I am today exists because of a mother who never stopped loving." This is the power of a mother's love. It shapes lives, heals wounds, and creates strength that lasts forever.